to say that this Hangout on there is live. So, okay, let me close out everything and start clean. I have my tests. I have approximately 27 tests, and all this should be green. I think this is volume 39 of live programming with F Sharp. And as my solution is building, because I only have, who would say that I only have 16 gigs of RAM on my dev machine, I am preparing to get a machine that has 64 gigs, basically a server as a laptop. All right, so all my tests are still passing. Okay. And oh, yeah, by the way, this is me doing this long running code kata of building a Get Ride mobile application in which I practice this domain driven design, which I have this ride domain, this account domain. And I'm also playing with this idea of specification as a library. So each domain has a specification folder, right? Ride specification, account specification. Within each specification folder of that domain, you have a specification library that consists of the operations for that specification of that domain. Hence, your before ride module has a request price, a request ride, a cancel ride. Your during ride module has a request location, and your after ride has a ride ended response. And so, and then you have your tests for specific to a ride. So get ride file, cancel ride file, ride ended file. If you look at the get ride test file, then we have the following tests right here, providing pickup and destination results in ride. Another test is prices provided after pickup and destination are set. Okay. Another one is cannot request ride on failure to get price. These are all tests that I have, and that's just for this get ride test file within my specification folder for my ride domain. Okay. You also have this notion of a cancel ride test file. And looks like we don't need this over here. Okay. And so if I collapse that, don't confirm request to cancel pending ride. That's one test. Another test is confirm cancel ride request. Another test is cancel or confirm cancel ride request results in no pending ride. And this ride ended. It's just whatever test that is. Okay. Now what? The same pattern is for my account domain. I have my account specification. So I have, I think I have one module in here. No, two modules. I have bank cards module in my account domain, and I have a transactions module in my account domain. The bank card module or bank cards module has query bank cards supported, and that's one operation which you just get the cards that the business is willing to the bank cards or payment types that the business is willing to entertain. Hence, it takes a unit and then it's going to return a card type list. You can also query the bank cards of a given account to see what bank cards are registered, right? You have add bank card, remove bank card. For transactions, you have a pay operation that takes a validated card and the price, and the result is a ride receipt. You can query ride receipts for an account. You can query cancel receipts for an account. Okay. Now, running this application, this might take a while. But running this application, I have coded the gist of the bank cards page and the add bank card page, or I'll call it add bank card page. So there's two pages that I've implemented. I think in this video, I'll demonstrate how to write a value converter such that, how do I get rid of break when this exception type is thrown? Well, I don't want you to break on that. I think that's just a interop issue between C sharp and F sharp. I'm not sure why I always get that exception. But like right now, ignore this blue header up here that came with the navigation page thing, which I think I'm going to have to craft my own navigation UI because I don't think this is going to work up here. But, you know, there's a Visa and there's a MasterCard of some imaginary account holder of this Get Ride application. And you can remove, and if I wanted to add a new card, I would hit the new card and I would put over here Scott Nimrod, and then I would say that I have a MasterCard, and I would say that it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or something, I don't know, blah, 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 blah. And this is validated to accept or configured to validate only if there's 16 digits and no numeric characters, I think. So if I put this right here, that's not going to work, but a numeric character will. Month, like that. Expiration year, like that. Code, something like that. Okay. When I add this, something else that I need to implement that's not done is I need to, when I add this, it needs to actually get updated on this UI right here. So it should show up down here. So that's something that I still need to do. I'll probably do that in another video, but for this one right here, I need to, I think it's common that on websites and mobile applications, when you're viewing your account and you're looking at the bank cards that you have registered, I don't think they expose the entire card number. I think they only expose like the last 4 digits. And so I'm thinking that I should probably do the same thing here. Okay. So let me go through the process of how to accomplish that, at least me practicing how. In my account.ui, there's a bankcards.xaml. Okay. So I'll double click that. And man, the performance on this is taking a while, but let me do this one more time and close out everything else. So in your bankcards.xaml, I have in my list view a card number, which is this right over here. Okay. What I want to do is I want to, let me see. Let's reformat this a little bit. And there's going to be a couple things I want to do now that I'm in here. One is I want to have a card type style and a card number style. So I'm going to update the styles in here. And it's going to be based on the label style. But I'm just going to try to quickly update this to card type style. And target type is still label, and it's going to be based on, I think you say static resource, then label style, which is this right here. Okay. And I think the width request, I think, is 200. No, it's probably still 100. But there's other things in here that I want to handle. So specifically, I know margin is one of them. So for the card type, I say that where am I at? For the card type, which is over here, I say that the margin is this value right here. And let me go ahead and say that the style is card type style. And so I said that this is going to be my margin that I'm going to assign. And I guess I can put this back like that. I'd have 12. 12 doesn't recognize it. Go back up here, and this is my margin value. That, okay? So that is for my card type style. Then I want to have a card number style, okay? So I'll go ahead and put card number style. And over there, let me scroll up. The card number style, its margin is this right here. Okay, and this width request is 200. So over here, I'll say this is a card number style. And I'll just go ahead and get rid of all the rest of this. And I'll go up here and say that, remember, for the card number style, the width request is 200. But after I set my margin, I want to, go back. I want to say something like width request, and that's supposed to be 200. Okay. So now that I have that, everything should be golden. Let me see. Okay. So now, if I run this, it should look the same. All I did was update the styles for both of these labels. So sooner or later, that's going to launch the emulator and is going to render that page that I have set. And I should observe the same UI. The only difference is the implementation details, or specifically the formatting of the XAML, in which I lifted all those properties. Yeah, that's fine. In which I lifted all those properties into my styles for the label versus having it hard coded in the actual control element in the XAML file. So this is fine. That's what I want. Okay. Now, what I want to do next is I want to obfuscate the first 12 characters, or specifically the first 12 numbers of a card number when I'm rendering it. When I say obfuscate, I mean I only want to convey the properties of a card, but I don't want to divulge the actual card number itself. I assume for security reasons. So to accomplish that, I would, in my practice, think that it's probably a viable idea to introduce a notion of I already have converters in here, to introduce a notion of a new converter. So in this converters folder, I'll do Control Shift A for add file, and I want to add a new converter. In this case, it's a new class, and I want to say that this is going to be a card number obfuscator converter. And before I commit to that file name, I think that's fine for right now. Hit add. And so this, I guess I should make public. Maybe, I don't know. but it's definitely going to implement a I value converter. Okay. And I didn't spell this right. I value convert, it needs a V in it, converter. Okay. Control dot Xamarin.Forms is where it's found in control dot implement interface. Okay. Organize my imports, aka using statements. And so this is going to, how's this going to work? This should, I believe that my bank cards is a card renderer. So it's going to have a card number as a string. So this value should be just a string. So I say var what? Var card number equal value as string. Okay. Now what? Well, I want to say var what? Var obfuscated number equals what? Well, it's going to be a card number, but what we want to do is we want to first we want to, how's this going to work? How do I want to do this? It's going to, how's this going to work? It's going to let me think about this. The first thing I want to do is I know that this card number will usually have spaces in it, right? And so maybe I do a card number dot split, and I say that I'm still in F sharp. My mind is still in F sharp. I say I want to split what? I want to split on this space over here. It says char. Okay, so what do I do? Like that. So let's hold off on this obfuscated number and just call this, for lack of a better term, um, number set. Okay. Now what? Well, I have my number set, and it's basically the result of splitting the card number based on spaces. So I think there will be four, but in this case, when it comes to indexes, well, let me see. Okay, my phone, I just got a text message, so now I'm distracted. What I want to do now is with this number set, I want to basically, how do I want to do this? Do I even care about the number set? I don't think I do. Do I even need to X out? Does the user even care that about the number of digits in the bank card that they're viewing when they view their bank cards that they have registered? Do they care how many digits is it? I don't think they do. So that's something to take into consideration. What they would care about is the last set of numbers. And so if I consider that, then we can say var last set, or var last what? Say 4 digits, something like that, equals, and then what? Well, first I like to have things lined up. I could say that it's going to be this number set dot what? This number set is an array. So if it's an array, then I could say number set dot length, right? And I think I say -1. I think, and that will give me my last 4 digits. Okay. And then what? Well, then I could probably just say that I could probably just say return, and return what? Well, I could probably do something like, how's this going to work? return, return, and then within here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I have the last 4 digits. If I wanted to maintain the entire count of positions, my dog is distracting me because she keeps trying to climb up on me. So that might be what I want. Okay. And one could say that, well, hell's bell. Yeah, I think this might be fine. I think. I guess I'll find out. And so I'll put a breakpoint right here, but I still have to include this card number obfuscator in my actual XAML. Okay. So I'll go ahead and say over here that I'm going to introduce another converter. And I'll say this is going to be uh-oh, come here. It's going to be another converter. Converters. All right. And it shows up in here. And then I'm going to say that your X, come back. Your X key is going to be this right here. And I'm going to go ahead and close the loop on that. Okay. Now, I like having everything lined up like that. Okay. Oh, Scott, you're getting carried away. I know. Okay, like that. Now what, Willis? Well, so we have this card number obfuscator converter. Okay. So now I think I want to go into my card number label right here, and I already have the binding to my card number right here. That's what the text is bound to. But then I should be able to say converter equals and say static resource and say this card number obfuscator converter like that. Okay. And I think theoretically that should just work. Now to test out my ideas, Cookie's looking at me. Cookie, yeah, I'm a smart dude, right? I don't know. I'll go ahead and run this. And I should, with emphasis on should, Cookie, get off me. I'm working right now. Be able to observe my card number obfuscated converter or obfuscation converter, whatever it's called. So the app is preparing to render, and what just happened? I don't see a breakpoint set anywhere. Okay, here we go. It's taking a little while. And let's see if I'm right. So now I have 5, 4, 3, 2, and I think that's what I want, right? So then I'll go ahead and run this. And if I look at it, hell's bells, this is kind of what I want. Okay. The question is, why is some of this getting truncated now? And so this is what I want for the most part. I think, let me go back to my XAML. Cookie, get off me. Go back to my XAML over here, and my dog is attacking me. I think I want the card type left, top, right, bottom. I don't think we need a right over here. Do that. And yeah, that looks like that's all that I really need for right now. Okay. So what did I just accomplish? Well, in this video, I just accomplished how to take a card number and basically obfuscate it using a value converter. And that's all I wanted to do in this video. In the next video, I think I'm going to attempt to tackle how when I add a new card, which I started to do in the beginning of the video, that once that card is added, it should just populate this list down here. That's what I need to probably focus on next. So that's it. I'm Scott Nimrod. I'm available for hire. I'd like to focus on functional programming, specifically within the .NET ecosystem using F#. I'm a huge fan of type-driven development, test-driven development, domain modeling, domain-driven design, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, that's it. So I'm out. Peace. Adios. And how do I kill this hangout? I say stop raw.